The relationship between Native American tribes and the government and the colonists was not good in in this chapter 7, because first there was Indian removal, and they were trying to clear the lands for so the whites could expand and build new canals and railroads and build bigger cities. So the Indians had to be forced out of their land there so whites could expand. And then Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory so that the Indians could hopefully move there and move out of the way. But that didn't work because they needed that land too. And then the man who was really in charge of the American supremacy over natives was Andrew Jackson in this chapter, and he was described as the most aggressive most aggressive enemy of Indians in early U.S. history. We see this. He killed 800 Creeks in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. He took Creek land. He tried to civilize the Indians by giving them each individual sections of land and ownership of land, which made them fight among one another because they were fighting over the land and weren't doing the things the way they'd been doing it. Andrew Jackson raided Florida, which led to the Seminole War of 1818, and then he went and became governor of Florida Territory. He also was passing the Indian Removal Bill, which caused 70,000 Indians east of the Mississippi to move west. And then when he became president, he passed laws that states had rule over Indians. So as you can see, Andrew Jackson, you don't really hear about this as often, but he was pretty bad to the Indians, and he treated them very badly. And he forced them to move, and he forced them to just leave the land and leave their home, even though they were there first. And then, generally about this chapter, how I feel is I don't think it's fair how the Indians were forced to move all the time and forced to leave their homes. And I really wish that more than just the Seminole Indians had tried to fight back, because they were the only Indians in Florida to try and fight and keep their land. And it really did work for a while because nobody wanted to try and fight them in the swamps, and because their guerrilla warfare was really good. And it went on for years, so I think if more of the Indian tribes had tried to fight back, maybe they wouldn't have been forced so much from their land. And then also the way how many Indians actually died moving from east to west, like the Trail of Tears where 4,000 died. And it was just, the Indians were treated really, really badly in this chapter, and they weren't respected, and they instead of trying to fix the problem, they just got rid of it by forcing them more and more west and promising them they wouldn't have to move even anymore, even though they did continue to have to move.